Hi friends, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So ChatGPT slash OpenAI slash Sam Altman are getting sued, this time by writers. And I want to go through this stuff because I think it's an important story. I want to share my thoughts and get yours as well. So you can see headlines here. John Grisham, George R. Martin, and other prominent authors sue OpenAI. I think there's going to be a lot of lawsuits coming for this kind of stuff. And, if you're curious who's doing it, it's some big names. So if you're a reader of some of the names, please type in the chat, who your favorite one is. But one, it's the Authors Guild, so that represents all authors. And then after that, you have, again, on the lawsuit, David Badalshi, Mary Bly, Michael Connolly, Sylvia Day, Jonathan Franzen, John Grisham, Ellen Hildenbrand, Christina Baker-Klein, Maya Schomburg-Lang, Victor Laval, George R. Martin, who's probably the biggest author on here. That's a Game of Thrones writer. Jodi Picoult, Douglas Preston, Roxana Robinson, George Saunders, Scott Turow, and Rachel Vale. I'm surprised they didn't get, like, for example, really, really big names like, say, J.K. Rowling or Stephen King, this kind of people. But I'm sure that they would be for these things. I wouldn't be shocked. And maybe in the future, they'll come out and speak on these issues as well. So one of the things that really stood out to me about this was basically, and if you want to go through the whole lawsuit, you can. Authors will give different examples of, like, where ChatGPT basically took their content. Now, one writer said when you say, hey, give me a summary of the book, what would ChatGPT say? And he had expected that it would just be, stuff that you could find on the web, something on Wikipedia, something in book reviews, these kind of things. But what he reported is that it actually, the ChatGPT would spit out stuff that's not publicly available, could only be gotten if you have access to the whole book. Not necessarily like something like a Wikipedia. And the issue with it, I started thinking about it immediately, was like, okay, so does that mean ChatGPT is like getting information from like every single corner of the web, public or not? And it also made me think about, as we talked about on the channel before, Elon Musk was complaining over on Twitter that essentially it was being data scraped for all kinds of contents right on there. And so, he's even talking about, hey, I'm going to just close off Twitter to the public. This was just yesterday, and say, I'm going to go subscription only. But like, even in that model, the authors would say, hey, ChatGPT is pirating our books essentially, and then using that to, create content and give that out to people without our permission, without payment, these kind of things. So, we'll see what's going to go on with this. Moreover, I haven't mentioned this before on the channel, but it's something that I discovered, I don't know, maybe a few months ago. It's pretty funny. One of the scams going on YouTube is that you can make coloring books and sell them on Amazon. I know it sounds really dumb, but these are really popular videos. If you look, I just pulled up some of the YouTube videos. It's like, make $4,500 a month, KDP for free, like make $5,400 a month, like this kind of stuff. The basic gist of it is that you're gonna use AI to make coloring books and sell them on Amazon, and then these videos get like millions of views. And just think about what's gonna happen to Amazon if indeed you have all of these people thinking they're going to get rich selling coloring books, and I really did say a coloring book. I'm not making it up. Obviously, you're going to have a glut of stuff on Amazon and a glut of people copying each other. And if all of their million viewers put that stuff on there, what do you think is going to happen to the price of coloring books? So that's sort of the world that we're going into, to where people are thinking of AI as a get-rich-quick scheme, where they can just push a button, not do any work, and suddenly get a bunch of money. And if you're wondering, does this coloring book strategy work? I'll just tell you flat out, it's a scam. The basic scam is that I make videos telling you how you're going to get rich, and then I sell you classes teaching you how to get rich. I mean, you guys get the gist of it. And it's the same with your drop shipping or any kind of these get rich quick things. They're just in it to sell you classes and sell you the dream, but no, you're not going to get rich selling coloring books. Because right at the moment that there's just a glut in the marketplace. Another headline that really stood out to me about this sort of AI stuff was, look at this. Hustle GPT, generative AI will boost the income, help millions of workers take on second and third jobs, Morgan Stanley predicts. And it's kind of funny because I think sort of the way that AI has been promoted to a lot of people, it's going to help you get A's in all of your classes. It's going to help you have a bunch of side hustles, and you're just going to make tons of money by just pushing the make money button towards this AI. It just seems like there's only so many jobs and so much productivity we need in the world. I mean, I guess theoretically, you have, 1/3 of the people doing all the work with AI, and then I guess you have 2/3 of the people not having any jobs, or it's going to be an AI and arms race where we're all using AI to have multiple jobs, and we're all going to be competing for the same coloring book accountants or whatever thing, but it is kind of a funny thing. And moreover, this is another interesting headline. And again, all this stuff is like all new. Most company executives don't care if employees use ChatGPT to do a second job as long as they get their work done. So, probably if you want to make a YouTube channel these days and teach people how to use GPT to make money, that's popular content, right? Everyone's thinking about, okay, how can I use ChatGPT to, not work and make money? CEOs are worried, or you could say they think they're going to be replaced by AI. We'll see if that is indeed a thing. So if you follow the channel, you'll know I recently wrote a book called Positive Angle. It's available on Amazon. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. I wrote it. And you'll be able to tell a book or a video on YouTube whether or not someone wrote it or not is like how much of themselves are in it, right? Is there personalized information that they only would know, only stories that they would be able to tell? Or is it just completely generic? And I'm just telling you guys, on YouTube and Amazon, there's just a glut of AI-generated generic stuff, right? Nothing really special to say. And if you really want to stand out in this world, you have to learn to tell your story and do your contributions and, frankly, keep it human. So I'm very much for people expressing themselves and being human. Amazon actually has updated their policies, which is really interesting. So one is now whenever you put something on Amazon, they ask you, hey, did you use AI to generate it or not? And I think ultimately they're going to come up with some sort of ways to detect if this is basically AI-generated content. Another thing that was really fascinating is, this is how big of a problem it is Amazon now has to limit the amount of books that you can upload. So I think it's like 3 a day, because theoretically, right, this is a real thing. If I'm, generating AI coloring books or AI whatever books, and there's no limit to how many I could put up. I could theoretically put 100 books a day, and just think how much overload there would be / spam essentially on Amazon. And also YouTube as well. This is sort of why I talk about the writers and actors strike quite a bit, because it's much more than just Hollywood. It's going to affect a lot of us. I think about this, for example, say you're in engineering or you're computer programming or any kind of thing. And, let's say, for example, ChatGPT / AI has access to your email. I mean, who knows in this day and age, or access to, the cloud drive. And this is sort of what, the authors are claiming, like, hey, they got access to stuff that isn't publicly available in our writers. But let's say they, get whatever documents that you have and they start putting it out there for other people on ChatGPT. I don't think that's a crazy notion, especially in the digital age that we're in. And, we hear about hacking all these things. So I just, I think this kind of issue where the writers and actors say, hey, studios, you need to limit the use of AI. If you haven't seen this episode on Netflix, which is a Black Mirror, it's probably one of the best series been going the last, I think they're in season 6 right now. This episode here called Joan is Awful is the first episode of season 6. I think whatever the new season, I think it's 6. This is a fantastic episode, and I don't want to give you too much other than check it out. It relates to the issues that we're talking about. And moreover, guys, I have personal experience of this. I write about it in my book, so both HBO and Amazon still work for me. And then worse, Apple TV actually stole my life story and put it in their show For All Mankind. So if you ever see this show, you'll know exactly which character I'm referring to. It's pretty clear. And talking about this AI stuff on YouTube, one, like I said before, there's a coloring book scam, which is going around, hey, you're going to be a millionaire, billionaire by selling coloring books on Amazon. And the other way that this thing works, which is also kind of an interesting thing, is after you put your coloring book AI generated thing on Amazon, then you have to give Amazon a whole bunch of money to put your book in front of a lot of other people, and it basically cuts your margins, or you end up losing money because you spend so much money on advertising. I think the same thing is going to be a big problem on YouTube. So you can Google it. You can see this is all the kind of content that people watch on YouTube. So how I make a faceless video in 5 minutes, 30K a month, right? This is the kind of stuff that people are searching for. Like, oh, I hear about this new AI technology. How can I use it to make money? And again, we're going to have this glut of stuff on Amazon. There's a glut of faceless, nameless AI-generated content on YouTube, etc. And I keep emphasizing this is where you want to do your best to keep it human. And I just want to warn you guys out there, just be careful out there, because in this world, and you probably know this stuff, but I just want to point out for those who don't, you can buy, look right here, I mean, just Google it. You can buy YouTube comments and views. A lot of channels do that. You'll know my channel's really small. I'm a really small channel because I don't do this kind of stuff. And this is something we'll never know. I don't think we'll ever know like how many channels out there are buying fake comments, buying fake likes, buying fake views. but I do think a lot of them do it because this is something I've noticed. I do YouTube every day where I'll post a video and you'll get these weird spam comments, right? It'll be like, 10 in a row, and they're obviously promoting some sort of scam. Sometimes it's really interesting. It looks like that another creator, had bot comments, because you'll say, "Oh, Chris, you're so dumb," but it'll be like, "Oh, Chris, you're so dumb," but it'll be like 10 comments in a row. They're kind of variations of that. And it looks like someone, bot comments to attack me, these kind of things. I'm telling you, this kind of stuff happens. And so you have multiple things going on at the same time, to where you can use AI to generate content so quickly to sort of simulate, I guess, human interaction. Moreover, you just have this glut of just generic content out there. And again, I think if you sort of, maintain that your originality, your own ideas, your human thought, you're going to be okay. But it is a very real concern if, like I said, if the ChatGPT/AI gets access to things that aren't public, that you created, that, again, your email, your hard drive, etc. Because that's essentially kind of what we're talking about here. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on these things, and if you agree or disagree with the lawsuit, or do you think that maybe this sort of lawsuit is just the way of the future, and ChatGPT is just going to unlock our productivity so we can all have second and third jobs? So that's essentially what Morgan Stanley was saying. Anyway, that's my thoughts, and I'd like to get yours, and I'll catch you in the next video.